Botis, I love the film. Actually, I got tingles sort of watching it at the beginning. Tell me a little bit about the journey you went on making it.
I think it was to start off with the journey. It was nice because I had a stimulus of faith. So that was like it's quite a broad thing. Faith is a broad thing, but I think I related a lot to my Christian background, like growing up with my mum, Christian, going to church. But there was a lot of stuff in the Bible that I read that kind of resonated with me. So I kind of took influences from the Bible and stories that I've kind of heard in the past and used that as inspiration to create some of the movement. So it was, yeah, pretty special.
And some of the images that you were looking at, some of the the sort of the images from illuminated manuscripts and from medieval books of hours. How did you relate to those?
Yeah, that's how I work. I work through images. So I think looking at the Book of Hours was a bit like, there's just so many different images. It's just like it gives you, even if you can't read it, I think it just gives you a sense of like there's you just look at an image and you can tell the amount of story that took place in that specific image. I think which also allowed for the film to grow in rich in movement, because there was a lot of things I could look at. Be like, okay, there's something specific in that image of how someone's moving, that I can take that movement and then make it into my own thing. Yeah, make it my own thing, which was a good source of inspiration to start with, because I think there was kind of no blockage. Yeah. Normally when you're starting a project, there's always these blocks. You're just like, I don't know what I'm trying to make. But this one was quite clear because you had loads of images, loads of story that you can just kind of bounce off with. So it helped massively.
You take the specific image or the sort of the composition as a starting point, and then you.
It was like you look at the images and being like, okay, this feels a bit, or just like noting down some feelings or some kind of emotion things that you connect with, writing those down, and then kind of looking at maybe small details in some of the images, and then I think sometimes just writing things of what people are doing, like the actions that they're doing, and sometimes taking that action into like physical, like literally into like movement, and then trying to find my natural way of moving with that image and trying to combine those things. So it's just felt like a conversation between image and movement.
I mean, some of the compositions in the film as well, sort of really interesting. Like these sort of the sort of scenes where you're multiplied several times.
Yeah.
There's kind of assembled crowds, and that you see those. You see direct echoes in some of the images in the illuminated manuscripts that you were looking at.
That's what I really love. I think when Freddie showed me that, I was like, this is, because I've never done something like that before. So I was like, this is cool.
Dancing with yourself.
Yeah.
All different versions
I mean, also getting to see it in the film, you're just like, there's like multiple yous. What does that mean? I was thinking, what does it mean to me, like to be multiple?
So we had this Book of Hours a couple of years ago that belonged to Mary, Queen of Scots. Mm-hmm. You could see from the thumbing in the margins and from the kind of the rubbing to the pigments of the images that had been used and loved, and that's the case with several of these manuscripts. So in a way, I guess what I'm asking is when you access your faith. And you express it in the medium of dance. That's a sort of very intimate process too, isn't it?
It's an intimate process that you go through, because I think even with my faith, it's the idea of prayer. When I'm praying in a room by myself, it's closed. That's an intimate space. It's also a vulnerable space because you're letting out your emotions, not in front of people, but you're letting it out to yourself.
What I love about the finished product is you're making contemporary, you're making your own, a 2,000-year-old tradition. I mean, that's fantastic.